In this video, I'll walk you through how I repair these couple of holes in this textured wall from start to finish, so you can do it yourself. Straight away, we've got a couple of little holes up there that we had a towel rail in, and we've got a bigger hole below there that we had a water pipe coming through. But what I'm doing with those smaller holes, I'm sort of pretty much making them a little bit bigger. I'm just cutting the edges away where you've got some loose plasterboard and a few dangly bits. We want to get rid of all those. And we're almost going to create a little V-shaped circle for the plaster to give it something to adhere to, and just so we don't have any little dangly bits coming through the plaster when we put it on. With this bigger hole, I'm just going to, it's a round hole, so what I want to do is I want to sort of cut it to a square shape. But what also I'm going to do is cut those edges on a 45-degree angle. Now, if you've watched my videos on this channel before, you'll see I do this quite a bit for small holes. So we'll do the same thing on the new piece of plasterboard, and that will just give it something to grip onto, and then it'll stop it falling through the wall when we stick it in. So just using a sharp knife, again, we want to get rid of any of those dangly bits. We don't want any of those sort of on there. Get rid of all those, cut any loose bit off, and it's easier to cut a new piece of plasterboard in a square shape rather than a circle shape. So that's what I'm doing here, just getting it a nice square as I can, and again cutting those edges at that 45-degree angle. So I've got a bit of plasterboard. The easiest thing to do is just hold it up and mark it where I want to cut it. Then I'm just going to run my knife along the top of the paper, and you just break that, and that just breaks away, and you can cut the bottom paper underneath. And we'll just do that with the other side as well. So once we've got our shape cut, we're going to cut our edges on a 45-degree as well. Remember, you just want to, you got a pencil handy, mark which way is up on your new piece, so you know which way it goes up, just so you're cutting it the right way. Once we have our plaster mix up, we know which way it goes in. So we want to get that sitting pretty flush. We're not going to be putting any tape on this. The reason we're not putting any tape on it is because there's no timber behind that wall there. Timber studs are either side of that hole. So the reason you get cracking is from timber moving. Timber movement causes cracking in drywall and plasterboard joints and stuff. So because there's no timber there, we shouldn't have any issues with cracking. And just for a bit of safety, we'll put a back block in as well. But just keep trimming that piece up till it's nice and flush. You just want it to sit really just below the surface, because once we put that bit of plaster in there, it's just going to sort of add half a mil or a mil or so. So just make sure at the moment it's sitting below the surface. So once we get that plaster on there, it'll bring it out nice and flush. I'm just going to mark which way's up, so I know which way it goes in once I've got my plaster mixed up. Then we should be good to go. Now I've also just, because the wall's textured, I just sort of scraped away any high bits around the patch, just so when I'm running over with my knife, it's not going to bump over any high spots there. Now another thing you can do, it's not necessary, but if you want to put a back block in, this hole's pretty small, it doesn't really need it, but I'm sort of showing you if your hole's a bit bigger, you can install a back block. So I've just mixed up a bit of cornerspond plaster, and we're going to just using a screw fixing in there, and we're just going to use that screw fixing to hold that in. Put that little bit of plasterboard in and sort of pull it against the paper at the back, so that plaster adhesive is bonding to the back of the board. It's a Victor cornerspond I'm using. It's again a plaster adhesives, so it's allowing your plasterboard to stick to each other. So we've just put some plaster adhesive on the wall side. Now we're going to put it on our patch all around the edges. Of course, with that back block there, it's all going to, once it's all set, it's all going to be tie in together nice and strong. So just tap that in there. We can give that a good press in. It's not going to fall in through the wall because we've cut our edges at that 45-degree angle. And we just want to make sure that's flush or just below the surface, because we can always just fill it out flush anyway with our knife. I'm just adding a bit of plaster over the top, trying not to spread it out too far. I don't want to put plaster all over the wall. We want to keep that patch as small as we can and keep that plaster out of the existing texture on the wall there. So just clean that up with your finger. Again, for these little holes, we're just going to use as small a knife as possible. I'm just going to use my small tool now. If you're a beginner or a DIY doing this at home, you probably don't have a bag of cornice bond. Just a small bag of quick set plaster, even 5 minute, will work fine. For this, just mix up a little bit for this first mix, and use that to put your plasterboard in and fill your holes. 5 minute goes off pretty quick. The plaster cornice bond that I'm using, you can manipulate it, so I only have to mix up one mix, and the more I mix, I take a bit out of that mix and beat it up on the hawk. It's going to go off faster. That's what I'm doing with this. But if you're using a 5 minute setting plaster, you can mix up your next bit for this second coat. Again, we're just going to go over it again, fill it over again, and again clean out that existing texture on the wall. And same with our two little holes, we're just going to fill those over again, keeping them as small as possible. We don't want to spread plaster everywhere. Just clean out that texture. So that's 2 coats. We're coming in now for our third coat. Again, if you're using a 5 minute, you can mix up again. We're just gonna, our second coat we coated vertically. This coat we're going to go horizontally across, just to fill it out nice and flush. And then same with our little holes. So we've already got that pretty good. Now we're going to do a bit of texture here. You can see I've mixed up, again, if you're using your quick set, just mix up a real watery mix. Just add a little bit of powder, give it a little mix up, and I'm just going to use a little paintbrush, whatever you've got lying around, where you can sort of flick the plaster onto the wall. And that's going to create our texture. So if you're in America, you can buy these spray cans of texture, and they adjust to whatever texture you got there. You got 3 different settings you can see there. So, you know, if you've got that, great. Go and buy one of those. That's the easiest option. But in New Zealand, we don't have those. So this is the next best option. You can use paint to do this, because if you wanted to, but I'm just using plaster because I've got some mixed up. You can try flicking it on like I did before. Otherwise, if that doesn't work with your finger, that doesn't work, just dip the brush in the wet plaster and just flick it on as best you can till you sort of resemble the texture you've got on your wall. It doesn't have to be perfect, because once it's all painted, it's all going to blend in anyway. You can see the style I'm doing there. I'm sort of just trying everything and anything. Sometimes you get a big blob on the wall, but you can just, if it doesn't look right, just wipe it off with your finger or the brush. Remember to blend in those edges. If you've got a bit of plaster that doesn't look right, and just do that till you get it right. This is quite a light texture, so and it's down low, it's not really visible. I'm just going to use my thumb just to sort of blend in if there's any sort of edges, just sort of smooth those off. Now we've gone away, we've come back the next day, and that plaster's dried pretty much the same as the colour paint on the wall, but we're just going to paint it with a bit of undercoat first. We'll let that dry and then we'll put a bit of top coat on. So that's dried, you can see that's dried a bit darker there on the wall, but we've got a bit of top coat paint here we're going to put on, and that's pretty good, you can't really see it. And that's how I patch a hole in a wall and add a bit of texture and a bit of paint. So hope that's helped you out there if you've got the same sort of situation at your house. That's how I went about it, doing it on this job. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, it really helps me out. And I've got a load more videos on my channel for you to check out. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Brad McKinnon. See you on the next one.